Hi, my name is Brian Griffith. I'm with the Department of Civil Engineering at Colorado State University. And today I'm going to be talking about water reuse in third world countries. Water is essential for life. All of us really depend on water daily. You need water just to stay healthy, to stay hygienic, and you need it for internal consumption and outward bodily cleanliness. Most of our bodies consist of water, and most of the Earth's surface consists of water as well. So it's obviously a very precious resource on our Earth, but it's also a finite resource. We don't have a whole lot of it. The uses of water are actually increasing as civilization progresses, new technologies emerge, and we're finding just new ways to use water, which is a benefit in certain ways, but also a drawback because, once again, we only have a limited amount. So many are hypothesizing that we actually cannot rely solely on the natural resources of fresh water that we have, that we need to start being more efficient with our uses or eliminate the uses. So while technology is nice, we also need to take responsibility for that. And in order to be able to satisfy all the needs that people have around the world and be environmentally conscious. So just to provide a quick definition of what water recycling is. Recycling water is the use of treated and processed wastewater for useful purposes like agricultural irrigation, industrial processes, toilet flushing, and groundwater replenishment. So today we're going to be talking about that specifically in light of third world countries where there's not a lot of use of water recycling right now, and where a better mindset towards water recycling could significantly alleviate the supply, the demand that those people have in less developed regions of the world. So my hypothesis for my empirical research proposal is that a basic application of water recycling in third world countries can alleviate the lack of supply for the demands people in less developed countries experience. So today we're going to talk about the importance of water recycling, current initiatives in water recycling around the world, and the potential benefits in third world countries for water recycling. So first, the importance of water recycling. To more extensively define water recycling, there's three ways it could potentially happen. First, it's diverted from its first use, it's purified, goes through a water treatment facility perhaps, and then returned to the original water supply. A second option is that the same first process would happen. It would be purified after its first use, but then instead of just returning it to the original supply from a natural source, it's placed instead to an isolated facility where it's used for another application in order not to cross-contaminate with the original source. And a third way, in a more basic scenario, in a less developed region where they don't have a whole lot of the technology, the pipelines and things like that, it could simply be used after, say, a shower or washing your hands, put through a basic purification system, and then diverted to a secondary use. And that way, the same water could be used multiple times so people don't have to go so far to get more water. So that leads to the second part, is talking about the global water crisis. Many people estimate that there's at least 1 billion people today without access to fresh drinking water that we enjoy just straight out the tap. That the number is dropping, thankfully, due to the action of a lot of humanitarian organizations, but right now it still could be that high. Many people walk up to a mile every day or multiple times a day in order to collect unsanitary water to use for all their uses. And in those regions, droughts and water shortages plague their land just like it does in many places in the US. So some challenges to water recycling. First, obvious quality concerns. Many people are concerned that after the first use, it's contaminated to a certain extent, and you don't want to use contaminated water for the second time, obviously. In the US, we have very stringent requirements placed on water purification, so if we do not meet those requirements, then that water cannot be used for the secondary use. Right now, just public acceptance and really education of water recycling is low. People are concerned, like I just said, about quality and whether that the standard of water is going to be sufficient for the next use. Say we're going from water that comes out of a sink and then it's going to now flush a toilet. That's not that much of a concern, though, and that's what people need to realize, that the water used to flush a toilet does not need to be at the same quality standard as, say, one that you're going to consume and put inside yourself, obviously. But quality is always important in whatever scenario we're talking about. So my second point is current initiatives. Water reuse projects have been put into action in states like California, Texas, and even here in Colorado, in Denver. A significant project was put up, which I talked about in my paper. And other countries such as Australia have taken the lead in making this concept a reality as well. And many of these facilities have proven to be a success and significantly reduce the demand on natural sources that they're pulling out of reservoirs or out of wells, perhaps. So, the potential benefits in third world countries. I found little to no evidence of actual research or projects being put into place, but there's a lot of evidence of the need there in regions such as Israel and Palestine and Jordan, an adjacent country, where they're facing pretty significant conflicts over land and water rights between different people groups. And obviously those conflicts go beyond water, but that's a huge portion of it, and that's the center. So in those regions, a new mindset needs to be adapted towards water, one where they share the water, but also one where they use it more efficiently. So I'm not currently participating in any research, and I haven't seen much evidence of it, but my proposed research project would involve willing volunteers in third world countries to participate in a study on the possibility of using water multiple times in different applications and testing the effectiveness of water recycling through quality and quantity parameters. So this is generally what it would look like. The first use of water is used, say that's washing some food to prepare it for a meal, or washing your hands, or taking a shower. That would be the first use of water. Then it would be put through a basic purification system, or perhaps for a control group would not be put through a purification system. And then that water would be used a second time for a less important use, such as flushing a toilet or small scale gardening, something of that nature, irrigation. And we can then test, one, the amount of water that was captured, because obviously some of the water is going to be lost in the first use, and secondly, the quality of the water, using common quality parameters such as hardness, turbidity, pH, alkalinity, things like that, in order to test how pure the water is, because that is an obvious concern. So through using that step-by-step process and using different control groups and different applications and different scenarios where we're going from this first use to a second use, we can look at the possibility of basic water recycling uses in third world countries. And that's my proposed research project, and I think it would significantly alleviate the problems that people in those regions are experiencing. So my paper goes into a little bit more details, and you're definitely welcome to look at that as well. So in conclusion, the innovative solutions of water recycling are necessary to meet the increasing demand. We can't only rely on natural sources anymore if we're going to continue to enjoy a lot of the technology that we have. Water recycling provides an efficient mechanism to use water multiple times, ideally without compromising quality. That is the big concern right now. And finally, research and education in developing countries. Well, it's not really taking place right now. It could come into the forefront and significantly help the people in that region, or right now having to walk lots of miles in order to use dirty water. So we need to continue to use this application in the West and in more developed countries, and share the ideas, share our concepts, share our technology, and all the new discoveries that we're making in these projects, these test projects here in the US, to help people around the world in order to make their lives easier and make the quality of both their water and their lifestyle better. So thank you for listening, and you're welcome to read my paper as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day.